Welcome back, everybody. It's Red the Mechanic here. Um, Today we're gonna be checking out the Prelude. I know I had to replace the wheel bearing on the driver's side and the ATTS unit, but I'm trying to find out exactly where this noise is coming from. So I'm just gonna jack it up, find out exactly where the noise is coming from. I do still have to replace those parts, but something's going on and it's absolutely terrible, and I have to find out and pinpoint it and replace that part first. This video I won't be replacing that part. I do have the replacement, but I need my axles. I need to replace the axles. The boots are absolutely destroyed first, so or in the process. I just don't have them at the moment. I do have the ATTS unit if that's the one, if that's the part that's acting up. I just have to, like I said, the axles will have to come off to, or at least the driver's side axle has to come off to replace that that unit. So I'm gonna just check this out and find out where exactly this noise is coming from. Well, the car's all jacked up. I'm gonna turn it on and check where the sound's coming from. My alternator belt is just a little loose, but it only does that on startup. I put it in fourth gear. It's gonna bring it like 20 miles an hour or something or other. 15. You can already hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's just roaring. I think it's my wheel bearing. Hear it there. Sorry for the darkness, but ATTS isn't really making any noise. Touching it, because there's not very many vibrations coming from it. So if I touch that control arm, there's a ton of vibration on this wheel. Like, I know I need axles, but that bearing is pretty loud. So I knew I needed to replace the bearings. I wasn't sure if the ATTS was also bad, which it's got a leak on it. I wonder why, because it was clean when I put it in. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. This wheel bearing is screaming right here. I just cut it off in gear. Oh well, it'll be alright. Turn everything off. There you go. Alright, I took the center cap off because I was going to take the wheel off, but I just decided to do it with the wheel on. So, I know the wheel bearing is bad. I'm going to replace it. I have the replacement parts here, wheel bearing, both lower ball joints. I'm just gonna replace those while I have the spindle off. Alright, let's get cracking to it. I'm gonna take the wheel off, start pulling the spindle off, give you guys little hints, how I like to take them off. Simple stuff, it's not too hard at all. See you in a bit. Alright, now I got the wheel and all the hardware off. I'm going to take off the axle nut, caliper, cut these zip ties off the ABS line, take this top ball joint loose, get these both lower ball joint loose, pull the spindle off. Too easy. Get this off. Alright, all the hardware off for the caliper is off. And I need brakes. Alright, I got my brake caliper zip tied up and out the way. Like I said, my axle is just nasty. It's disgusting. I'm gonna get the rest of this off, pull this rotor off. And we're gonna get the ball joints off the tie rod and pull the rest of this out. Alright, I got the nut off. Just smack right there, and it'll come undone. Alright, well, that took a bit more swinging than I thought, but it's off. I'll take this ABS sensor off. It's just 210s right back here, these two, and then take the rest of it off. Okay, after all the hammer swinging, and I even had to break out the air hammer because this boy would not come off. And I got these boys. I would not smack these. I'm replacing them, so I hit them to help them come out, especially this one, because this one also didn't want to come out. But these have been in here since original. This body has 200 and some thousand miles. I think it's like 220 some thousand, and they needed replacing. So I've got the replacements. Everything's off. I'm gonna take the spindle off, start whacking these ball joints out, and also pulling the hub off so I can take this, replace this bearing. Just be able to grab it, push on the axle, and voila, spindle's off. Now I'm gonna be removing that shield. I already did the other side. It's just something I do, especially makes spindle so much easier to clean. And look at this nonsense, this axle. Okay, man. I need to replace that. Soon, it will come. Alright, man. Y'all need to listen to this. Get a better hold on it. Listen to this. Think that was bad? Goodness. Let's replace that. Get that new. I already gave the spindle a quick little wipe down with, trying to get all that axle grease off, or the big chunks anyways. This is a good example of a wheel bearing that's bad, that has no play whatsoever. This bearing has no play at all. Like none. And it is absolutely destroyed. It's throwing me off. With these giant wheels on the car, of course these wheel bearings are gonna go bad. But this was going bad already before I put the wheels on. I just made it get worse. Time to smack these out. Well, that's one. That's one. One ball joint is out. Here it is over there. Get this other one out. Had to take the snap ring off for the first one. This one doesn't have a snap ring. And the second ball joint is out. This one does not have a snap ring. Just need a little bit more whamming than the last one. Alright, I think I'm going to press this hub out now, do the wheel bearing, and then do it all in reverse. Put the ball joints in after I put the wheel bearing in. Here we go. I forgot to record when it busted free, but the hub is moving out. It's about to fall out any second now. There it is. Hub is free. Take this all apart and pull this, pull the snap ring out of the wheel bearing, and then pull the wheel bearing out. All right, now that the hub is out, which is right here, and it's actually crazy. This race came off. I don't know if I can get that off. If I can get that off the rest of the way. Usually I cut these off, but since this moved, I might be able to get this race off. It looks looks like I can get it off. And that would be amazing, because usually I have to cut those off. But now it's time to pull out this snap ring, which is on its way out. Let me see if I can just work this out here. I did not do anything to this. This is how it came out. And I've been driving this car for almost a year like this, not even knowing that this snap ring was like this. I mean, it's working itself out. Look, if I use both my hands, I'll be able to get this whole snap ring out. See, even this side is coming off. I'll get my screwdriver underneath it. I'd use snap ring pliers, but I don't have any. For those who are getting ready to say something, I don't have any. So I will get some, and eventually I'll do this the right way. Until then, I'm going to use my screwdrivers like I've always done. See you in a minute. Okay, got it out. 2 screwdrivers. Always works. That one I was trying to get it, see if I can get just the 1 screwdriver to pop it out since it was out. But usually I bang on the one side here, right here, with a screwdriver to pop it free. I'll use the needle nose pliers or some to squeeze it a little bit, and then shove the screwdriver in. It'll be like that, sticking out a little bit, and then you shove the screwdriver in behind it, and then you flip it up, and then you shove your other screwdriver underneath and pry up, and then it starts coming out. And then after so long, it just pops right out. Wear safety glasses, people. Wear safety glasses. Safety glasses. Those 3 Phillips are not coming off with the screwdriver, and I'm like impacting it too, you know, with a hammer, and it's not budging. So I'm gonna cut them off. Those are all cut off. The dang shield is off. I ground those flat. When I replace my axle, I plan on cleaning this all up, painting it all nice. You know, my whole suspension I plan on redoing and painting all nice. I just need to get those axles replaced first, because there's flinging grease everywhere, and there's no point of really going hard and cleaning anything when there's grease flinging everywhere. So I'm putting in new parts because I have to, not because I want to. I really wanted to wait until, you know, I could do everything at one time, but it's not looking like it's gonna happen that way. So I've got that off. I wanted to get that off. I'm gonna get this wheel bearing out, get that race off right there, and then reverse everything, put it all back together, and it'll be done. Yeah, I have to cut it. It's not moving. So let's get to it. So what I do to get these off is I put a slit in them. It doesn't matter if it gets on the hub itself, because there's so much other surface area that the bearing can grab onto that little bit is not going to hurt it. And then I put a fat wedge in between. I smack it, and it puts a crack in it, and it releases the race off of the hub. So I'm not going to be able to... Well, let me see if I can set you guys down. You're not going to be able to see me, but you're going to hear the whack, and hopefully it puts a crack in it. Is that it? Nope. Maybe I have to cut a little bit deeper. So I've got to cut deeper, and then I'll try again. As you can see, this time I cut a deeper ways in. Actually marked the hub, but like I said, it doesn't matter if you do or not. There's so much other surface area that the bearing grabs onto. I've never had a problem with marking up a hub like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it down and try smacking it again, and see if it'll come off. Ah, there it is. Look. First whack. You can see it's completely away from the cut, and you can see that crack right there. See it right there. It'll probably come off with just Cry of a flathead. Oh, come on, don't play me like that. I have to smack it off, and I don't want to show you guys. I got you guys in between my knees right now. I'll be back. Again, I forgot to record when it was busting free, but the bearing's moving. I gotta readjust because it only has so much movement, but it did break free from the spindle. Alright, my camera's dying, so I'm gonna try and be quick about the rest of this video. I had to readjust since the bearing had nowhere to move, but as you can see, the bearing is flush with the end of the spindle because the other bearing that I was using was not letting it go past. So now I've got all this area. Now the bearing can go down. You guys can watch this. And that's what happens. It always happens. Doesn't fail. It always happens. Especially when you're using one hand. As you can see, spindle is completely naked. Alright, so we're mostly set up here. I used old bearings cases that I had to, step up here because you need you need something big enough to not touch the bearing but hold the spindle up. And then the new bearing, all of this spayed with some penetrating oil, and then I have the old bearing here to help push on the outer edge of this new bearing. So I'm gonna set this up nice and straight. Alright, I am reset up again. This was going in kind of crooked, but now it's nice and straight. Oh, it's gonna go all the way in now. Watch it. Almost at the bottom. There it is. Another pump just to make sure it's seated, and then release, and the bearing is set in there. I'm gonna release this so it doesn't fall apart and go grab the hub and do the hub next. As you guys can see, the snap ring is in. The hub is gonna be going in. Everything is all set up. When you push the hub in, you want to have something completely flat on the bottom so it doesn't push the inner race, because you want to keep that inner race free like this. You want to keep it spinning. You want to keep pressure so that, damn it, it doesn't pop out the bottom. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a teacher. All right, I'm doing all this on my own car and just showing everybody. Keep the bottom pushed up so it doesn't push the race out, and you want to make sure this is free. It's not, if it binds up, that means the balls inside are shifted, and you don't want that. So this hub is about to go in and set. Push in, turn, push it in, turn. I like to do it both at the same time, but I'm using my hand. I only got one hand to press this in. I'm gonna push it in, turn, make sure it's constantly have movement, because you don't want it binding up. The way this is sliding in, it's just going right in. Alright, it's bottomed out. Let's give it a little bit more. Make sure. And this is done. The wheel bearing is installed. I'm gonna let this loose so it doesn't fall apart. Alright, like I said, my phone is dying, so I've got this all set up in the ball joint press, and I'm gonna press that in, and I'll be back with you when I've got both of them all said and done. Alright, got the ball joints all installed. They're all once I put them in, I'll grease them up. Even though there's no grease fittings, I've got a needle whatchamacallit, that can do these. So I'm about to install this, grease it up, and it'll be said and done. I'm all set. Ball joints, wheel bearing, everything's installed. I just have to put it back together and then go drive it. Well, it's dark, but everything is back together. Calipers on, rotors on, tie rod, ball joints, axle, zip ties for the ABS sensor, upper ball joint, everything is on. Everything's been replaced. I'm gonna put the wheel back on, put my phone to charge, and then I guess take you guys on a test drive. I know that's obviously, the repair. We know that the wheel bearing was making a ton of noise. Now it's not making any noise at all. I'm gonna put it all back together. Or I'll put the wheel back on, get it off of jack stands. I gotta go get my kids from school. My phone's about to die. Oh, like I said, we're all back together now. The whole spindle's all put back together. Wheel bearings, ball joints are all done. And so I'm just gonna throw the wheel back on, get it off the jack stands, get it out of here. I've got to go get my kids from school, and my phone's about to die. So I'll see you guys here in a little while. Well, my phone died. I didn't get to record a video of the test drive, but the car drove absolutely outstanding. It was the quietest ride I've had in the car since I've got it. I mean, and when I got it, it had it was open header, so I don't even think I need to replace my ATTS unit. I'm just gonna check the fluid level on that. I do have the replacement if it does need replaced, but I don't think it does need replaced because everything is just absolutely quiet now. So now I need to replace the axles, and eventually I need to do the clutch. The clutch is getting at its limit as well, and my upper ball joints also need replaced. And those are adjustable, camber adjustable, just by like a degree or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and one of the next videos coming up, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to do the upper ball joints first or the axles, but those will be coming, and I'm actually going to be doing the CRV here soon, so you guys are going to get that very soon. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, anything, don't care, positive, negative, send it. Red the Mechanic, out. See you later. Peace.